Welcome to Pink Summit Camp. I am so excited. I have my sunglasses on. I've got my sweat towel in case it gets a little hot in here, and I got my backpack with some water. We are ready to go. I am so excited about this series. We are going to cover so much in these next courses that you guys are in for such a treat. Okay, so let's get into this. Each course is going to be filled with essentials of developing sufficient, reliable, and fun businesses. And like we're in Sparkly Girl Scouts, you will earn a badge for the completion of each course. As we begin this new Mary Kay year, or for those of you who are brand new, we have a clean slate to work with. So grab a piece of paper to take notes. I will have resources to share with you, but remember, the faintest pen is better than the sharpest memory. So take lots of notes. We are focusing on strengthening the basic skills that your overall outcome that will overall improve your outcome. All right. So an Olympic lifter is an Olympic lifter on training days won't just go and start like cranking out reps on the barbell and then adding more weight to improve their performance. They will also work on the basic skills, hone in on the mechanics of the movement. They will work with a PVC pipe and practice each transition. They will practice each of those transition points that the barbell moves through to ensure that it moves seamlessly, and the muscle memory will do what it needs to do even when it gets heavy. The foundation of your business is mastering the basics so that it becomes muscle memory. So that when it's been a while since you've had a party or an appointment, you still know what to do. When it's a stressful event and things don't go exactly right, you go into auto mode and won't be phased. So, who would love to have their default gear kick in and know what to do even when life is crazy? Right? Well, then you are in the right place. At Pink Summit Camp, we are going to embark on a journey where you will develop the necessary skills to do just that. You have the opportunity to earn badges each week. Let me bring that up for you so you can see that. You will have the opportunity to earn badges each week, and we're going to cover so many incredible topics. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. And each week, you will demonstrate that you've successfully completed each of those courses. You'll have homework that you'll turn in, and then you will earn your badge for, where am I at? Right here. You will earn your badge for that course because you've completed it. It's like Sparkly Girl Scouts. So once you've completed all 8 courses, you're going to earn this very special new charm for your charm bracelet as well. So my family recently went out west where we did lots of outdoor activities. My screen's not acting right. Hang on just a second. We did lots of outdoor activities. As you can see in that picture there, that's when we went to Idaho as well as in Zion National Park. And during this trip, we hiked and whitewater rafted. And since this was so kind of fresh in my mind, I found it so relatable to this training series. This week's course is called Route Mapping. So, when we were planning to go on a hike, we didn't just like drive to the trailhead and start hiking and hope that we would find something cool along the way or figure it out along the way. No, we looked at hikes in the area. We reviewed pictures of where the trail led to see if we wanted to go there. We made sure we understood the distance it would take and planned out what we would need for water, snacks, and even what we needed to wear. You get the point. we needed to know, one, where we were going, and two, how we would get there, and three, what we would need to make sure we could make it. The same is true for your business. You are embarking on a journey where many of you, raise your hand if this is you, just head toward a goal, not with a real plan or training, and you just hope you get there. Or worse, you don't even have a destination. You're just walking aimlessly in the woods, hoping to find something cool along the way. We don't want you walking aimlessly. That's how you get eaten by a bear. So the first skill that we must develop is mapping out our route, understanding what you want to have, see, or do, and how to get there. You will go on many different hikes in your business. So regularly, you will need to utilize this skill. Over the years, I've had many people say that they don't want to set a goal because they don't want to miss it. There is a difference between a goal and a dream. So a dream is this elephant of a vision that you desire to ultimately get to. It's built on levels of personal growth and development and smaller goals along the way. So first things first, on your paper, write down a dream you have. This may be a Mary Kay dream, a dream for your family, or something more personal to you. Maybe it's a dream vacation or buying a house. Maybe it is, a dream work-life balance. For me, my dream is building a pink Cadillac unit. This is where each of you will get to be celebrated at every Mary Kay event for your achievement of being a Cadillac unit, walking across the stage together, celebrating, enjoying free lunch at company events. I want to see my kids' faces when they see we did it. When someone asks you, do they still have those pink Cadillacs? You say, yep, I'm a Cadillac unit. I want that to be the vehicle that leads to qualifying for top director trips. I know how incredible our unit is and how when we set our minds to something, we get it. I want to be able to brag about all of you and our secret sauce for getting there. I want to explore the world in ways I never dreamed I could. This is my big dream. But just writing down trip-winning Cadillac director doesn't invoke the passion to move forward. Visualizing my kids' faces, imagining walking the streets of Europe with my husband, seeing your faces light up as you walk across the stage or eat with the tippity top of the company. That creates movement. That's what helps to keep me going when someone cancels, life gets hectic, or I'm emotionally drained. So what is your passion-filled, motivating dream? I challenge you to involve God in your goal. Now, Psalms 16:3 says, commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. And then down in verse 9 of that same chapter, it says, the heart of man plans his ways, but the Lord establishes his steps. And then in James 4:2, you do not have if you do not ask. God wants us to plan our ways. Then we must allow him to bless our steps when we commit our work to the Lord. Now, like I said, a dream is achieved through smaller goals along the way. All right, so where am I at? Okay. If your goal is to buy a home, the steps to get there involve paying off debts you have, saving the down payment, etc., right? So what's the next best goal towards your dream? A goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time, said Zig Ziglar. All right, so if we stay with this example of buying a home, our next best goal would be paying off your debt, right? So figure out what your total debt is. How long until you want to pay it off? How much is that monthly? Sometimes this goes the other way. How much can you pay off monthly? How many months will it take if you do it consistently? How much extra do you need to achieve that value? Get it down to an amount or a time period that is measurable and achievable. In Mary Kay, if your goal is quart of sales, you need to break down that number into 12 months, right? Then you know your monthly goal, which you can break down into items to sell or faces to see. Now we have a short-term goal that we can work towards that is a stepping stone to that dream. When we went to Zion National Park, the dream was to explore Zion National Park. But to achieve that, we had to hike different trails to see different parts, right? So these small goals, these smaller hikes all helped make it to the next peak to celebrate and enjoy the journey. Your dream may be family related, but your goals for this course should be business focused. What can your business do to help you get closer to your dream? I like what Zig Ziglar said. What you get by achieving your goal is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Small goals are helping strengthen you in so many ways. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So how do we plan? Let's talk some numbers. This business is mathematical, not magical. Sometimes numbers can be intimidating. Don't let it intimidate you. Listen, if you break down your initial goal and it makes you anxious, you have two options. One, go for it. Challenge yourself to shoot for it. And then if you miss, you probably are going to land in a better place than if you would have just set a smaller goal. Or two, pick something you feel confident you can hit and then commit to strive for a little bit more next time. There is nothing wrong with picking a goal that you think you can hit to build confidence. Sometimes I go into the gym and I see the workout and I'm like, okay, I could do this as prescribed and likely not finish on time and know I worked hard. Or I can scale it and know that I will finish. Both achieve a goal. Either I get stronger for doing the harder work, or I develop endurance for knowing what I can consistently do in a time frame. If you are a person that is motivated by winning, then you need bite-sized goals that you can get excited about finishing. Don't get lost in the weeds. If the goal is too far off, a monthly goal for me is too far. For me, I do a lot better daily. Working, when I say daily, I mean like 5 days a week. And then there are like those 2 bonus days if the week gets squirrely. But I know that if I can focus in on what to do consistently each day, then I know I'm chipping away at my goal. So there are going to be 4 pitfalls of your business that you will want to avoid. Okay. Number 1, not mapping out a plan. You need a direction, something you're working toward. That could be adding 10 new customers, making a certain amount of money, completing a power start by seeing 30 faces in a month. Now, at least you have a target, right? So the next step is to make sure that it is measurable or something you can track. I find that it helps to work with averages so I can figure out what I need to do to hit it. So here are some numbers you want to use to help develop your plan. Write these down, okay? First of all, your average sale. All right, average sale is probably about $75. For me, I would say honestly, it's more like $100, but I'm just gonna, you might be newer, you might not have the same skills. And so your average sale, let's just go with, is $75. All right, so then another number you want to write down is 1 out of 10 will say yes. okay, to booking with you. 1 out of 10 will say yes when booking. So if you want to book 2 appointments a day or 2 bookings a day, you would want to contact 20 people. Now, we will dive more into booking and leads in another week, but these are just some statistics that I want you to keep note. The next number I want you to remember is 1 in 3. 1 in 3 will say yes to a Pink Possibility chat. 1 in 5 will say yes to the opportunity. And 50% of appointments hold on their original date. That does not mean 50% hold and then the other 50% never happen. No, just 50% hold on the original date. So if you want to power start and see 30 faces in the month and close everyone the way that we're going to cover in another course, 10 of them should say yes to a Pink Possibility chat. And 2 of them would then say yes to the opportunity on average. Okay? Sometimes we perform better and sometimes we perform worse, but I've seen in my business with consistency, it all kind of balances out. Another calculation is a selling goal based on what you want to make. You will take your selling goal and divide it by 0.4. I recommend using 0.4 because that's 40% as your profit percentage. We'll explain more about that next course, but the discounts and expenses that are involved in your business make this a more accurate calculation. So if you want to make $500 a week, you will need to divide 500 by 0.4, which is a selling goal of 1,250. So my goal is to sell 1,250 to make 500 in the week or the month. Okay? Here is one tip I want to give you. If you want to have control of the money you make in this business, you need to treat it like one. Businesses, especially new ones, take work. It doesn't have to be hard or time-consuming work, but intentional effort. A boutique is not going to open its storefront, tell no one about it, and expect to do well. No, they are going to promote their opening. They're going to generate excitement, anticipation, and market themselves. All right, so number 2, not managing your time properly to have balance for work and family. Can I tell you a secret? I spent about 15 years.
I'm not sure I understand.
Story's talking. I spent about 15 years of my business building and rebuilding it. The common denominator, consistency. I would work really, really hard, booking, holding appointments multiple times a week, hosting opportunity chats, etc. And things would grow. But then I would get tired, distracted by something in my life, hurt by something that didn't go well, and I would rest. Each rest, I would lose the momentum I had built because one appointment leads to referrals or follow-up appointments, etc. When you stop, you have to rebuild that momentum. Momentum is strength or force gained by motion or by a series of events. So we want to maintain that momentum. So what did I have to learn? I had to learn time management. I had to be in control of how much I was willing to work, when I would work, and how to manage my time so I didn't wear myself out. You are the business. You are the one in control of the level of success that you have. Running a small business, a small sales business, has 2 sides to the coin. Your efforts will produce your outcome. On one side, the more you put into it, the more you will get out. But on the other side, if you aren't putting in the time, you won't get the results. So yeah, I mean, once you develop a large customer base, there is a reorder business that will sustain you for some time. But if you're not promoting new products or maintaining the customer relationship, they're going to chase the next shiny thing. So the third pitfall I want to hit on is not prioritizing the business. Because you are the business owner, and if you work another job or have other life responsibilities, it can be the first thing you put on the back burner. Please hear me when I say this. I am not saying that you need to run your business like I run mine. Nope. My goal for you is manageable consistency with your business that helps you achieve the goals that you want. I run my business as a full-time job because it is a main source of income for my family. Many of you might run this part-time or sometime. So my efforts need to match my full-time expectations if I need full-time income. Your efforts should match your business priorities. There are times in your business where you are working towards something and you put in the extra, but that shouldn't be a monthly business practice. You will run yourself ragged if you push at the end of every month for a goal that you waited until the 25th to start. Chip at it each week, each day. Then you will see consistent results. Maintain energy. Setbacks don't hurt as much because you didn't have your entire goal hinged on this one thing. The fourth pitfall is not tracking. Tracking is the hardest, but second most important piece to setting a goal. Why set a goal if you aren't willing to see how you're doing to get there? It's like getting out at the trailhead and just following paths, hoping you end up at the right place. In Zion, if we didn't know where we were going, we could have accidentally found ourselves on a 12 or 13-mile hike because we didn't pay attention to the signs or where we were going. Many of you are aimlessly walking through the woods, hoping to find your destination. Tracking is tedious, but it also keeps you accountable to yourself. Okay, so how do we avoid these pitfalls and develop your time management skills? Here's how you can do that. For some of you, these are going to be like reminders that you may have stopped doing but need to get back to. And for some of you guys, this might be brand new. Either way, acknowledging that I needed to improve in these areas has dramatically overhauled my business into what it is today. It doesn't matter if you work your business 2 hours a week. These skills will help you in all aspects of your life to help keep things in control. So there's 4 pieces to this puzzle. 1, a weekly plan. 2, a brain dump. 3, 6 most important things list. And 4, understanding income producing activities. So, number 1, a weekly plan. The Mary Kay community has used this weekly plan sheet for years. It's used by the tippity top of this business. If you want to be in the seat of someone you admire, do the things you see them do. So first, you will create your perfect plan. If you have kids, this plan will change with every sports season. So this can be redone, but it is just a goal page for you. Then you will take that plan and help it mold each week. Find a set time or day each week to make your weekly plan sheet for the next week. I recommend printing out a month in advance of these. In your schedule, you should be writing in time for God, family activities. I'll show you mine. Family activities, your job, other personal commitments, Mary Kay trainings or events, income producing activities, everything. Everything that involves in your weekly life can go here. So creating the plan sheet, it's going to help you to know how much time you have given to your business. It allows you to see if there are holes or hiccups in it to align your goals with your time. So make sure you have set aside enough time to make your goals possible, or you'll miss it before you really even start. It shows you where you will book your clients into so that you aren't running yourself around like a crazy person because your clients are controlling your schedule. For one of the hikes we did in Idaho, I wasn't in charge. One of the people with us had done the hike before and said it would take about 4 hours and about 7 miles. So I'm thinking 2 hours up, 2 hours back. My daughter Haley, she'll be fine. We will take our pace. And so we didn't stress when he said that we'll leave around 10, which would get us there to the hike head or the trailhead at 11:30 to start, because we figured we'd surely be done by 4:30 and we'd have to get back in plenty of time to prep for dinner. So the hike ended up actually being about 8 miles. And when you're watching your watch to see how far you've gone, and you're tracking your distance traveled, and you hit about 3 miles, you're thinking, sweet, I am almost done there. And when you realize that, or you don't realize that it's still another mile left to go, each step seems like an eternity because you just feel like you'll never get there. Haley hit a wall, you guys, around like mile 3.5. She was over it. She thought we will never get there. Luckily, I was able to get a signal on my phone and pull up a trail map of the trail and create a realistic expectation of how long until we actually made it to the peak. We were able to count each zigzag up the mountain so that we would know just how many more we had to go and we could chip away at it. You guys, where did it go? There it is. The destination was stunning. We knew the goal we had was to reach Alpine Lake, but we didn't allow enough time to get there comfortably. Our crew had to rush back down the mountain because it took us longer than expected to get up there so that they could make it back for dinner, which just took away some of the enjoyment of the hike and really soaking in all the sights. When you have allotted enough time in your schedule to achieve your goals, you will enjoy the journey to get there. So your challenge through this course is that each week you will create a weekly plan sheet of your week. At the beginning of each month, go ahead and put in the things you know are already happening: the trips, the family meals, special occasions, and our events or training to your schedule so that you don't forget about them. Add our events and training to your schedule so you don't forget about them. Then each week, you add in more of those details so that you have the plan to work with for the week. When I stopped working full time, I had to strengthen this skill even more because when you are in control of your full schedule, you can really go at life with I will get it done at some point today. And then the day will slip by and you didn't even get done what you needed. So your time will be filled either intentionally or unintentionally. So that leads to my next piece, which is the brain dump. Okay. How many of you shut down when you have too much on your plate? All right. You can't figure out what the next best thing to do is. You get overwhelmed. You keep forgetting things that need to get done. You miss important deadlines, and then you just shut down because it's too much. You guys, that is me. I'll be vulnerable here. When I have 18 plates spinning, I shut down. I don't want to do any of them. Did you know that you're using even more brain space daily, keeping your task list stored there? Each day, you're having to remind yourself what you've got to get done. Make sure you don't forget this or forget that. So monthly or weekly, up to you, dump all of that out on a piece of paper. So it's no longer just like bouncing around, taking up active brain space. Mine is broken into 3 columns so that I can see them easily. One, my Mary Kay column. My second column is my outreach job needs. And my third column is my personal or family stuff. List anything that you think of that is taking up space in here that needs to get done. Then you take that list and you go through and you see what on that list doesn't have to be there, or it doesn't have to be you. What can you delegate? Put a big D next to each one of those. Oh, my husband can do this, or my kids can help with that. If you want to grow your success, you have to let go of being the only one that can do something. If someone else can do something 85% as good as you, then let them do it and free yourself for the things only you can do. Then take that list and see what happens. Take that list and see what needs to be done this week and highlight those. Now, we get to the third piece of the puzzle, the 6 most important things list. Our founder highly promoted this process. Take your list, your brain dump list, break it down into the 6 things that must be done next. When you focus on tackling those 6 things, it doesn't seem overwhelming. And each day can begin with intentionality and finish with a win when you've crossed off your 6 things. Now, some of you who work a regular job may have 6 things you have to do in your job that day, and then 6 things that you want to do with your Mary Kay or personal life. When you know your 6 Mary Kay things, when you're on your lunch break, drinking your coffee in the morning, or about to turn on the TV after dinner, you know what you want to get done that day and can knock out those tasks in those pockets of time. Mary Kay used to say, your people time is from 9 to 9. This is when you work with the people. Anything else that doesn't involve people does not need to be done in people time. All right, in those hours. Those things should be done outside of those hours. You can make your own people time frame, but make sure you preserve that time. It's not appropriate to contact a customer at 10 p.m. Unless she contacts you first. So make sure you are doing those booking calls or texts or customer service follow-ups during the people time. And then the sample making and filling orders outside of the people time, or once you've completed your people tasks. So going back to the brain dump, you've highlighted what has to be done this week. Now, each evening, you pick what you want to do or tackle the next day. So you begin your day with intention and focus. I like to take the things that are highlighted and assign it a day. So I know I prioritize what I need to do first. So I'll put an M next to the tasks that need to be done Monday, a T, a W, a TH for Thursday, an F for Friday, etc. Right? Then I make sure I'm spreading out what needs to be done evenly so it's not overwhelming and it's getting the things done. Here's the motivation, ladies. Once you've taken the short amount of time to do this, now you no longer have to keep that list up here. It's right there when you need to reference it, but you only have to focus on what you need to do that day, and you've freed up that brain space to enjoy the day more. Now, the final piece of the puzzle is IPAs, which stand for income producing activities. Something that you do that will generate income. It falls under the larger categories of booking, coaching, selling, and recruiting. We will dive more into all of these through camp, but in anything you plan to spend your working time doing, these are the things that will make you money. The first 4 most important things need to be income producing activities. The final 2 can be those non-IPA items. Here's a great tracking sheet to show you, based on what level you want to achieve, how many IPAs you should be doing each week, and you can track it. Okay, so let's talk about your homework. So there's a summary sheet here. Let me jump over here first. I'll come back to that. Your homework for route mapping week is going to be to complete the New Year New Goal survey. Some of you have already done that, and some of you have not. If you've already done it, you're ahead of schedule. If you have not done it, then all you need to do is all of these resources are in the board's Glam Fam resources page. Okay, so pause for a second. If you're newer, Boards is a resource that we use to store a lot of resources that you can easily access at your fingertips. So you're going to download the Boards app. And then in our Facebook group right here, or in the Glam Fam Facebook page, on the very top pinned section, there's a link straight to our Glam Fam Boards folder. Now in there is a folder. Well, one, there's a link that says New Year New Goal Survey. You can click that and fill out that survey. Now the other resources are going to be stored in the Pink Summit folder. So you will complete, also your number 2 is you're going to complete a 3-goal sheet. So you're going to list your top 3 goals. So you had your big dream that you wrote down today, and now I want you to pick the next 3 goals that you're going to do. All right. And so that's in that folder as well. You'll see a little worksheet for that. Complete your average weekly plan sheet. So like I showed you mine, what does your typical week look like? And then I want you to create the weekly plan sheet for at least the next 2 weeks. You can go ahead and do more if you want to, but at least the next 2 weeks. And you're going to submit those pictures to me by Sunday. Okay, so you have a week to do these. Submit them to me by Sunday. Now, what I just showed you a second ago is a new tracking sheet that we are going to be using. So this is a summary sheet that tracks your weekly efforts. All right, and then what I want you to do through this course is at the beginning, before we launch into all of the activities, or the training, I want to, what's the word I'm thinking of? I want to celebrate, recognize, goodness gracious, couldn't come up with it. I want to celebrate and recognize your efforts from the week. You know, you may not have a whole lot, and that's okay. You may have a little bit, but again, we're just starting to sharpen that tracking capability of what you should be tracking. So this is also stored in the folder. All right, so all those resources again are found in the Glam Fam resources board, and then under Pink Summit. And then there's a folder called Route Mapping, since this is the Route Mapping week. And if you complete your homework for next week, you will earn our Route Mapping badge. Isn't she cute? And we will recognize all of you who completed course number 1 when we start course number 2 next week. So again, next week, 7:30, same time, same place. All the good things are happening right here for you, so that this can be preserved when we need it down the road. But I hope you guys enjoy, developing strengthening the skill in time management and honing in on the importance of goal setting so that we have that destination. And I can't wait to see what some of your goals are and how I can help support you in those. I'll see you guys soon.